What's up, YouTube? You're watching Mike Plays Blind, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. Now, this is a new release from Everything Unlimited Limited, and it is a narrative game by the creator of the Stanley Parable. I've never played that on my channel, and but for those of you that have, you'll understand it's kind of it's a very interesting story-driven game where all your actions are narrated the entire time you play. Now, one of the things that made it really neat was there were a whole bunch of different endings and different ways you could go, and it was, very creative, very original game. So this is from the same developer. I'm really excited to get this one started. I'm just going to go ahead and begin the game, and we'll see where it takes us. Please make sure your audio is on. Yep. Wasset and mouse.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Wreden. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
I wonder if that date will be important for anything else later. So far, interesting. That definitely looks like it was a Counter-Strike level.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Choices. Now it's starting to look like the Stanley Parable. No, maybe not. We can't. Yeah, we can't go that way. We can shoot, though. Looks like E makes you shoot. The mouse does too.
Security call brief. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
That door opened.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized.
Well, I couldn't go in that one door. Ha! There's the floor.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
We shoot through the window? Nope. Alright. A lot of the doors don't seem to open, and everybody I hit that isn't a direction makes me fire. Whoa.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it.
Oh, why not?
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh. But I want to go through the labyrinth.
Or if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Yes, I would really like to solve the labyrinth. Thank you, Mr. Wreden. Or Wreden. Whatever. There's got to be a secret back here, right? It's probably where they keep all the secrets. Or it really is just a labyrinth that doesn't go anywhere. You know, that's possible too. Whoops. I feel like one of these should be... I probably should just be hugging a wall and going around the whole way, huh? Okay. This, I think, is where we came in at. Okay, well, I'm going to call that big white door the end. And then I'm probably going to get lost trying to get out of here. Yeah, this was definitely a mistake. This one... Nope. This one. Also nope. This one. This one's the winner. Actually, I think this one might be the winner. Probably not, though. I'm probably just still freaking lost. Aha! Victory is mine.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey,
Is that the...
you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Well, you know, in the interest of completing the game, I suppose so. YOLO, bitches.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Ah, I'm alive again. I don't know if I can do that again, guys, so... I can't shoot it anymore, so... I would think hot lead would be enough to stop this. Whoa, I'm flying. Oh, that's cool. There's the labyrinth. Yeah, there's everything we want.
Causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Huh. I mean, so far this is very interesting, kind of cool. I can't walk, but I can move around. The past was behind her.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's, interesting. Does anything change as we go? The obstacles present themselves? Because I should line up straight and go.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Code is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
That's interesting. But the future cannot be seen. Why does the future keep changing? So yeah, it changed, it closed off that hallway on me. I kind of figured it was going to do that since you can't see what you're running into. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. I like the music to this so far too. It's very, it does a good job like setting the mood. But if the future is always behind her, how how will she find the strength? Sorry guys, I'm losing my voice here. What?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Can't go that way, can't go that way. I can walk forward now, though. Looks like I have to stay on the path. You are now entering. I'm now entering what? I don't know why, but I'm expecting a jump scare.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it, because that was...
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
nonsense in every direction.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? I know it's tempting, but there's actually nothing over here. Sorry.
I don't know if I can believe you. I mean, I know you're not the guy that narrated the Stanley Parable, you're the guy that wrote it, but that in my book makes you even more suspicious. Alright. You appear to have possibly been telling the truth, but maybe there's a secret behind this building. Eh? No. Alright, staircase it is. What's the catch gonna be here? I'm slowing down. Yeah, I'm definitely slowing down.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Up, there it goes. What's inside the mystery door? I'm really tempted to jump off of here. It won't let me. You walk around, talking people down from pursuing their hopes and dreams. A normal game where you have to scream in a mic every 15 seconds to keep playing.
It's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
You're the queen, dusting your jewelry while your kingdom is destroyed.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
This is cool. This is kind of cool. Some of these would actually be kind of fun. A series of lavish manuals come with the game, giving you incorrect instructions on how to play. Oh, I wanted to read the rest of those. You jerk. Ready, set, fish. What? I was ready to get my bass on. Come on, trout. Carpy. No bluegill either. Okay.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Alright. Well, that wasn't so hard. Oh, there's another door back there. Thing off here in the distance? No, looks like that. Nothing there. Anything here? No. That door is locked. Okay. Does anything change in here? Nope. Well, the door is slow. Do we just have to outrun the door? Oh, there's another switch here. That probably just opens it back up.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're going to see it a lot.
Yeah, I thought maybe the 3 dots on the wall were something besides a decoration, but I guess not. It's interesting.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa. Very cool.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
Huh.
So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
January 2009. Oh, here we are again on the trail that doesn't go anywhere. Searching for a deeper meaning. You're now exiting.
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
This is pretty cool so far. I'm really curious on where this is going. The Great and Lovely Descent. Wow. Well, that's cool. There's even like a...
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
There's even like a landscape built in, but it's all
To make all of these
blank
games,
canvas.
Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Yeah, but well, I guess the carpet's just a texture, but it does seem out of place with everything else being so linear. Can I get back there? Maybe? Ha! No. One more time. Ha-ha! No. I fooled no one because it doesn't open. Whoa. Whoa, I almost went off the edge. Very cool. You really do get like a sense of vertigo with this. Can we make it? Whoa, I almost overshot it. I wonder if I can just jump down to a much lower block, or if I need to. I guess I probably do need to do these in series. Or not. I always seem to open my mouth just a second too soon. Is there any that's closer? Yeah, there's that. We can make that, I think. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Well, I missed a few there. No fall damage, though. Good to know. Oh, man. You're afraid of heights or whatever. I don't know why. I mean, it does seem to mess with you more. Maybe it's the black background that... Oh, no, it's not going up to an abyss. There's something down there. Alright, can we make this one? Nope, I overshot. Well, good thing this floor was down here. There's like a glass thing with a light at the bottom. Can't go that way, can't go back up. I guess we could have just jumped to the top and it would have been the same thing, but not nearly as cool. Kind of bummed I went off the edge there. I guess it looks like there's still glass there. I heard a gate or something swing open. Well, it's like cattle stalls or a prison. There's a weird, like, heartbeat sound in my headphones now all of a sudden. No, it's more like a fast, like, pulsing bass. Yeah, we don't seem to have any choice where else we're gonna go. Is this our prison cell? Oh, I can't run out of the elevator either. Nope, invisible wall. More invisible walls.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Well,
If you
Coda's
don't
an
mind, I think
asshole.
we're gonna skip that.
Yeah.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. Huh, there wasn't.
It's like the Andy Kaufman kind of humor. Like the joke was really on him the whole time. The other guy was laughing at him playing these games for hours on end, trying to see if there was anything in there, but no. Which I guess is kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm exploring all these edges, and I'm looking for the secret that obviously isn't At this point, at least, doesn't appear to be there. Still another invisible wall. There's those 3 dots again. Definitely looks very prison-like.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Are you sure? Can you be trusted? I guess so. Yep, nothing in here. The other lever.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
It's very intriguing. And I'm sure this is going to develop more as we progress. It says, listen. You there, did you come from up above?
He's using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
What do we say? Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating colored blocks. I think the floating colored blocks were the coolest part, so I'm going to tell them that first. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Do you have... Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. No, I don't remember having to go through any puzzle. I prefer not to tell you. We've only just met. Well... Do they track me as I move? No, they don't. There's mannequins with boxes on their heads. Let's go with 1. So he's speaking to us. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. You go, I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. It's too bad I can't just tell them how to solve it. I'm gonna go with 3. Trust me, you don't want to go over there. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? The most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you. There's nothing something. Is that it? Well, I can't jump up there. I can't say anything else. There's some books on the table. Nice little fireplace. Can I duck? Nope. Oh, I can. Can I open it? Nope. What happens if I press enter? That seems to do things... Whoa. Is it closed off now? It is. Ah, but here's another room. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Let's see. Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this whole time. Let's say yes. No. We actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it? Why would I care about the space between the doors? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. I don't recall a space between the doors. Actually, I'm more curious why they like the space. There's a reason, but it may take time before you understand, which is fine. Is that it again? I just go through the next door and down more stairs.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
So is this the darkness between the doors they were talking about? Oh yeah, you hear the crickets? Or is that from the lamppost area?
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Huh. Interesting. April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All the notes you see are left by other players. I start off staring at the ceiling. Okay. Interesting. I wanted to see if there was a way to save this game, because I think this is getting to a good point to stop, at least for now. I will have the next video for this up soon. I'll try to get the next one up tomorrow, actually, or maybe even later today. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I will be back again soon with more.